Alright guys, so we're here with another video from Podcast Cringe, but it's Podcast Cringe Bites, another channel of his. It is titled Bert Kreischer is Killing 2 Bears, 1 Cave, and that's something that all of us already knew. But let's see how he goes about this with Sebastian Maniscalco.
Take a bath in the pool?
Yeah, I'm a pool shower guy.
Yeah. So
Like I showered last night in the hot tub was my shower. I got in the hot tub, I shower in the hot tub, and then I get out.
Does anybody else do this on the team? Like, does anybody else go, we're going to shower in the pool today?
Your skin looks incredible.
Oh, thank you. I
and mine
appreciate it.
looks pretty red, I'm assuming. I've got acne on my cheeks for whatever reason.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
I should have gotten makeup.
No, you shouldn't have gotten anything. You have no shoes on.
Yeah.
So why would we even start with makeup? I mean, the difference between you and I just feel like there's a lot of people in your world.
This is how I live. Like, I have a fear of being alone.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm quite the opposite of you.
The downfall of 2 Bears, 1 Cave is worse than we initially thought. If you've been following my channels over the last few months, I covered the guest Bears, Stubby and Chrissy D, who covered for Tom and Bert over the summer for 6 episodes, while Tom was off shooting a movie and Bert was shooting a TV show. And those 6 episodes were the best the show has been for years.
Absolutely, and I think everybody agrees. I think anybody that watched 2 Bears initially saw these two guys come in and just destroy it. Make a mockery of the whole thing, truly.
But when they came back, the drop-off was crazy. We all knew this was going to happen though. Tom and Bert have been so lazy over the last couple of years. Bert even admitted recently that he just pushes out content for the sake of it and doesn't care if it's good or bad. Tom has almost completely checked out of podcasting and stand-up comedy now that he's rich enough to buy his way into Hollywood. However, things aren't as simple as that. Check out the numbers on the last 2 episodes of 2 Bears, 1 Cave with Bert as the host. Those are Fighter and the Kid numbers. I've never seen an episode of 2 Bears with views that low. That is absolutely insane. Tom is still managing to do okay on his own, but these Bert episodes are a real problem. Not to mention the overall drop-off in views for YMH Studios in general. 2025 will go down as the year things really started to turn for podcasts. We're witnessing JRE and Flagrant's numbers continue to decline. Several podcasters are calling it quits or they're in the process of winding down, like The Fighter and the Kid.
You know, from my perspective, the only thing that I can assume here, aside from them being boring and not really comedy, is that there's real talent, real comedic talent that isn't these guys that get millions of dollars to do a podcast, okay? And I think the fans are starting to realize that. People that enjoy podcasts are starting to realize it. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Chubby Behemoth. Now, those guys aren't small per se, but you know, it's being Sam Talent and Nathan Lund, but these are guys that are just podcasting and being funny the whole time.
But the drop-off in views for Bert's content has been crazy. I didn't think it would happen this quickly. And there's going to reach a point very soon where Tom isn't going to be able to keep YMH Studios up and running with these numbers. They've got a bunch of staff in the background, plus the overheads for multiple studios. It's not going to be long until Tom's propping up the whole business with his own cash. And so Sebastian Maniscalco was on this week's episode to promote his upcoming comedy special, and things got awkward as soon as they hit record.
Well, who would have known that Sebastian had a special without this, right? No way would anybody have had any clue. I mean, all it is, hey, we got the same management. We got to set this up. Got to promote Sebastian's thing. Because Bert has to. He doesn't want to. He has to.
Your new special, it's not coming out till November. It's so good.
Oh,
I had to stop it. I had to stop watching it. That's how good it is.
Oh,
shot beautifully, shot gorgeous, really covered top to bottom. At the United Center, how many did you shoot? And this is inside baseball stuff for comics, but how many did you shoot?
2. We did 2.
That's it. You're done. Do you need to do anything else?
I asked that to my, what are we doing? Oh, are we, how long is this going to go on? I'm sure you guys are all asking. You're like, what? How long do we have to come to this house?
How long does this go on?
For me, it's like, what else do...
I do gotta add this. It does find, I do find it weird how often this becomes the case where these guys are so invested in their thing that they have put so much money into it that when it does crumble, they are basically done. I mean, thank God for... I looked at Adam Ray's YouTube today, and it's just kind of interesting seeing the difference between the way he puts out content and the way these guys put out content. Because it's like, yeah, Adam has a podcast. He's a great guest on podcast. I mean, even Mark Norman will repost on his YouTube hour-long podcast episodes that he was just a guest on, even if you don't even know the other comedians. Adam Ray's got all these different characters and stuff, right? Like, he's making content in many different forms. So even if he doesn't do his podcast, he's still got all these other things that he's doing, releasing, and keeping people not only guessing but interested, you know? There's only so much sitting and talking to a guy that you've talked to before that the fans will accept as entertainment.
Do you have to do on top of the stand-up comedy? I mean, you're a guy who's dabbling in a lot of facets of entertainment.
Is he?
Is this because you absolutely love doing all this stuff, or is this the fact that just it's feeding the stand-up? What's the... Where are we going? I mean,
that's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question, Bert, because you don't have a clue.
I think Segura's done doing stand-up.
Bert just completely deflected that question and threw Tom under the bus. And even if you keep playing that clip, Bert never actually answers the question. He just rattles on about how it was never Tom's dream to be a comedian. He'd always wanted to be an actor, director in Hollywood. So I think it's...
No, it's just like most comedians. Most comedians were theater kids.
Common knowledge now that things are coming to an end. And all of these guys have been open about how podcasting boosted their stand-up comedy ticket sales. The whole comedy podcasting ecosystem has always been about monetized publicity, which has been working for years. They've been able to promote their stand-up while raking in millions of dollars in ad revenue. But the downside is that this has led to overexposure, and now it's massively backfiring on Bert.
Yeah, they're, I mean, being too open. Look at Theo Von. It's a prime case of a comedian being too open with his fans.
It's taken a while, but now that his fans are finally seeing him for who he truly is, they're choosing not to watch anymore. To make things even worse, because these episodes are all banked weeks and sometimes months in advance, Tom was more than likely absent from this recording because he was in Saudi Arabia at the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Right.
So when he gets back to the studio, the hate is going to be even worse than it is now. And having Sebastian Maniscalco on the show really amplified just how bad things have gotten.
You're a sensitive guy. You cry, you cry like you have no problems crying or on iPhone, this and that. My cry, secret. I don't like show the crying. Yeah,
For real.
You show everything though.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit.
And that's exactly the problem. They've also run out of the ability to just simply be funny on their podcast, so they resorted in just being open. Like, oh, if I just be honest and tell them about my day-to-day life, that's also entertainment, I guess. It's insight into their existence, but at the same time, you're like, oh, so you're actually kind of an asshole. So you're actually kind of lame.
A little bit more like, I cry, but you're not going to see it, you know? I've often seen your show and go, this guy does it barefoot, and that's unique.
How do you wrap your head around going from the guy that sells the most at Madison Square Garden ever to the person that sells out the most in every single borough ever? Do you sit in the green room and just, is there a part of a 13-year-old Sebastian that's like, holy shit, or is it just like,
Yeah, it's a second. But listen, this was never in the cards for me to do this anyway. As far as, I didn't have on my vision board sell out, It's not what I had in mind. So yes, when it does happen, it's nice. But it's not like, I'm not like an overly excitable guy. I think I celebrate a little bit more in private than I would do around people. I feel like...
Exactly. You know who doesn't celebrate in private? Tony Hinchcliffe. I mean, that guy will fucking self-suck right on the stage if he could. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I mean, the difference between you and I just feel like there's a lot of people in your world. Right? Like, when I walked in here, I was like, should I have another home to house my business?
And that's exactly what I was getting to earlier. Is it's like they invest so much into it. Even Bad Friends is like, oh, they bought a second house that neither one of them live in, so they have somewhere to record. I mean, it's wild. The dedication is crazy, especially if it doesn't work out.
And then
Arguably, your business is way bigger than mine. The answer is yes. This is how I live. Like, I have a fear of being alone.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm quite the opposite of you. We're two different guys in the sense that you really love a lot of energy around you, which is great.
So for those of you who don't know what's going on here, YMH Studios is located in Austin, Texas, where Tom and Christina live. Bert's still based out of LA, and when it's a Bert-only episode, then he shoots it from his own studio, rather than having to fly down to Austin just to record a podcast, because we all know how much Bert loves flying. Anyway, so Bert's got his Bertcast studio, Something's Burning, and a second Two Bear studio in some random house.
I do have to give Bert credit. You know, at least he hasn't made the move to Austin. Because if you really think about it, he's one of the very first guys that was like sucking the teat of Rogan and getting so much out of it. Like, without Rogan, I don't really think Bert Kreischer exists. Much like a Brendan Schaub.
Along with all his staff who manage his tours and festivals. That's why Sebastian was like, what the fuck is going on here? Why are there so many people here just for Bert? And it's no secret that Bert has full-time staff dedicated to promoting and selling his tour, which he does with a bunch of other comedians every year.
Look at the amount of people in that place. That's crazy. And Bert's just like a goblin coming downstairs, scaring everybody.
However, now that things are slowing down for comedy podcasts and stand-up comedy in general, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all of Bert's shows and his tour. Because if Tom throws in the towel and says, fuck this, I'm sick of doing stand-up and I'm sick of turning up every week to entertain a bunch of paws on these podcasts, I'm rich now, so I'm just going to go and do whatever I want without having to worry about keeping this shit going. Well,
yeah, I think we're going to start seeing this happen more often. I think this is just the beginning. As Podcast Cringe here said at the top of the video, more and more of these shows are just going to disappear. You know, they might have their one little climax, and then it's just going to be downhill from there. I don't know what else to even say about it, because it feels like it's predicted itself. You know, I'm not saying anything that you wouldn't know. So either way, check out the Podcast Cringe video. Podcast Cringe Bites. Hit the like, subscribe. Same thing with this channel, this video. Like, subscribe, and until the next one.